Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to PayPal at Deem by any means. There go to Cash App, $ Deem by any means. Y'all know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you send $1, $2, $100. It's much, much, much appreciated. Hey man, I know y'all been hearing about David Benavidez really been putting foot on neck, and belt the behind when it come to Canelo Alvarez, calling him out, all types of things. And now David Benavidez is about to take a fight, which is going to make him the mandatory in two different weight divisions, 175 and 168 for Canelo Alvarez with undisputed, and then with the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev undisputed. I like that. That's a boss move. And if you can't get either one of them fights right away, you got to go see David. But that's another question mark. But anyway, David Benavidez is doing what he has to do as a fighter, and the things that we ask fighters to do is, keep foot on neck, call guys out, actually put yourself in position to get the fight. He said he was willing to take a rehydration clause, all the stuff that y'all complain about all the time, and you come at Tank Davis for doing. But David Benavidez said to get the fight, he'll be more than happy to take to do a rehydration clause if he wants that, because Canelo says something about him having bringing what he bring an extra 25 extra pounds. That's what Canelo said. And then, like I said, David Benavidez, he accepts that he's the B side, even though he's a star, man. Everybody love David Benavidez, man. Only people that don't like David Benavidez, for real, that I ever heard is people that's Canelo fans. I don't know too many people who don't like David Benavidez. It just is what it is. He's making himself become a superstar in the sport. And then, like I said, he's saying that he's willing to take a huge pay cut or a pay cut enough, because even whatever he takes for the Canelo fight, 9 times out of 10 is going to be more than he ever made in any fight. So I think that's how David Benavidez is looking at it. Like, listen, man, even if I take, X or XYZ number and you keep most of the bag, it's going to be more than I ever made in my life from any other fight. So I just want the opportunity. And David Benavidez is really showing what a warrior about. And he got David Morrell right behind him doing the same thing to him. So, and Canelo, for real, because don't forget, y'all, David Morrell is old just as much. WBA, what we doing? But I made this video to ask WBC, what we doing, man? WBC, what we doing, man? It's on Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC to sit up there and do their job. And because I believe the Beterbiev, he'll be a mandatory in the WBC at 175 too. It's, man, you got to do your job, man, because David Benavidez is doing everything he can to put himself in position to fight Canelo Alvarez. So we can't really ask too much of David Benavidez. He's taking the fights we asking him. He's doing the necessary steps. Now it's on the sanctioning bodies and these networks to make sure that this fight happens. Because I'm pretty sure all the networks want it, and definitely the PBC. I know they want that fight. The fight's not happening because PBC don't want it and Amazon don't want the fight. They'll be more than glad to, more than happy to put on that fight. So that only leaves one other factor. If we got David Benavidez, that leaves two other factors. If we got David Benavidez doing his job, we got the networks, Amazon Prime and um, Al Heyman and them and the PBC doing their job. Then that leaves two factors. Canelo Alvarez, actually doing what he said he going to do, or actually not being a duck and actually fighting the man. And we need Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC to do their job. Listen, man, fight or drop the belt. Fight this man. I heard they were supposed to be making them um mandating that fight. Because what people don't know, a fight is not really you could be somebody mandatory, but that part don't matter until the sanctioning body orders the fight. The clock don't really start until the sanctioning body orders the fight. Or maybe it is a certain amount of time that would have to pass where the clock would start. It's probably a stipulation in there. But for the most part, the clock doesn't really start until that 90-day time that they give you to negotiate with the fighter. They're mandating you to fight. It's usually that clock don't start until Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC permits that. So it's time for them to do their job when it comes to Canelo Alvarez and put the pressure on. We know why they don't want to do that, because when you're getting 3% of 100 mil, that's crazy. Or even 3% of is guaranteed. That's a nice number. I understand that, but the part they got to understand is you're gonna get that for sure, because you're probably going to make more with that David Benavidez fight, because it's going to sell more than his last however many fights has sold. You feel what I'm saying? It's going to do similar numbers to him and Triple G. And then David Benavidez is somebody that the Mexican fan base going to get behind, and the whole nine. They already behind them. You got a lot of the legends that's Mexicans. They don't agree with what Canelo doing right now to David Benavidez. So David Benavidez could easily get that fan base to where as though it's smart to try to get a young lion. It's beneficial to get a young lion his just due, because Canelo's getting older, as you know, and the whole nine. You don't know what he's going to do. So this the right time to pass the torch. If you the WBC, man, y'all the deciding factor right now. Mandate the fight. Mandate the fight. David Benavidez deserve it. The fans deserve it. It's going to be the most money. Y'all going to get y'all bread. It ain't nothing standing in the way from y'all making this fight, and we need it. David Benavidez has earned this, man. The whole world wants to see it. And I'm not letting the WBA get off the hook neither. When y'all gonna mandate him and David Morrell? Yeah, it's all up to y'all. They can mandate it in 2 years, they can mandate it in 3 years, they can mandate it in 6 months if they choose to. You see what they did to Terrence Crawford and with the IBF. It's at their discretion. So I'm going to put the blame and put the pressure where it need to be when all the other deciding factors are holding it down, and give me no other reason to believe that it's them that's holding this up. And I know it's plenty of people that hear me right now. Y'all agree. You got to do your job, man. Mauricio Suleiman got a lot of respect for you, man, but you got to do your job. Mandate this fight. Y'all said y'all was going to mandate it by the end of this month. Well, that month is ending, and we haven't heard nothing about y'all mandating this fight. So I hope in April, y'all, at the beginning of April, a couple weeks into April, y'all mandate this fight and at least get the clock rolling to where as though Canelo got a choice to either fight the man, go in negotiations with him, or drop the belt, because Canelo don't have the promotional company issues, even though this is a one fight deal with Jaime Manguia. It still won't change the fact he got to go to negotiations. Actually, it'll give Canelo more reason and pressure to make a deal happen quickly and not be able to stall the networks out, because he just got to fight. So Canelo can say, well, I ain't fighting again for another 9 months. So I'll decide that 2-3 months before I actually want to fight. Like, I'll be ahead of the game. Nah. Not if y'all mandate them negotiations, mandate that fight. Now you gotta you can't mandate the fight without the man knowing where we gonna fight at. And you know what I'm saying? You would have to start getting certain things in order to go in negotiations, because what negotiations is to solidify where the fight gonna be, what's gonna happen, glove size, ring size, the whole nine. So that'll also put the clock on Canelo as far as finding another home or landing a 3-fight deal, 4-fight deal, 2-fight deal, 1-fight deal somewhere. And knowing Canelo with his attitude, feeling like he getting forced to make that fight, it probably would be another 1-fight deal with the PBC. But if you the PBC, you happy, because he gonna probably be coming back to you, because all the other fights at them other weight classes is not the other. He already tried to go somewhere else and it didn't work. So I don't even understand what Canelo's doing. I would have did a 3-fight deal, because you went somewhere else to try to shop this fight, and you couldn't get it nowhere else. They wasn't willing to pay the bread. So that's why you came back to PBC. So you might as well stop playing with yourself. No Diddy. You feel me? Stop playing with yourself and do what you gotta do. But David Benavidez deserved this fight. So I'm just wondering when the WBC and the sanctioning bodies and the powers that be gonna actually put their heads together and start putting the pressure on, because we deserve this as a boxing community. And it's not, I know you understand that, Canelo make a certain amount of money and all this, that, and the third. We get that. But now you got to put certain people in position to be there to pass the torch to continue to make money after Canelo is gone. And just because you got Floyd Mayweather's don't mean you can't have a Manny Pacquiao too. And what I mean is two stars existing at the same time. We've seen it done. We know it could be done. We have seen this over and over. Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. You see what I'm saying? We have seen stars coexist at the same time. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya. We have seen this. Felix Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya. It's not like it's not enough room for two big dogs to be out there. Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence Jr. Like we gotta, you know what I'm saying? You know, I just want to know when the WBC they got to do their job. I'm putting the pressure where the pressure need to be. So y'all know what it is, man. Deem by any means, and I holla at you.